Carson-Newman takes down UVA Wise by 21. Here with Coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagle Sports Network. Coach, we talked about your offense. Maybe hadn't consistently been there the last few games. You averaged just 69 points per game on the road. Coming in, scored 92. What did you see from your offense in this game?
Just played fast, got up and down the floor. Obviously when you shoot as well as we did in the first half, I think we hit 7 threes in the first half. Kids were just feeling it. They were sharing the ball. We was playing through all 5 of them. Clearly we have some really good players out there that are playing, but it wasn't necessarily all Braylon in the first half. I think Keeley had 2 threes, I think, in the first half. Multiple players were playing well, and I just really liked our tempo and how we were getting the ball up the floor. Out of our defense, we gave up some stuff out of the press, but for the most part, I was super happy to be able to put up 53 in that first half.
Braylon's been red hot. We can talk about her any given time, but Harley Smith's really been great the last 3 games. Double figures in all those. 2 assists shy of the first triple-double in 9 years for the program. What'd you see out of her today?
I mean, she's just playing really poised. She's playing with a lot of energy. She's playing hard. We're obviously going fairly small at the 4 and the 5, but both Harley and Keeley, I feel like they do a good job of navigating that, keeping good position inside, rebounding the ball extremely well, both of them. And Harley's really crafty, scoring the ball at all 3 levels, but especially around the rim with her left hand. Super proud of how she's been able to come back. Today was like a clean stat sheet for her almost, with 15-11, 8 assists, 2 turnovers, and she's technically called our 5-man. So our 5-man's got 8 assists and 2 turnovers, 2 steals in 31 minutes of action. So, and she's a veteran, and we need veterans to step up, and I'm certainly glad how she's played since Christmas break moving forward, having to play with a smaller lineup.
You were able to turnover-wise consistently 18 times in this one. You turned that into a lot of points, but their leading scorer, Nia Van Zant, was a non-factor for much of this game. How do you assess your team's defense?
Well, you got to understand what their strengths are and try to minimize them. You're not going to minimize all of it, but they're really good at getting to the rim. They live in the paint a lot with layups. Nia's really good in defense, been able to pick off passes. That was one of the things we didn't want to necessarily throw the ball around, because she's done a great job of late of stepping in passes and getting uncontested layups on the other end. They're one of the best free throw shooting teams in terms of getting to the line in the league. So we kind of knew what we had to do. I mean, they still scored 70 points, but in this game, kind of like what it's been in the past, our offense kind of won the game, and what the defense did kind of created the margin. But overall, I'm happy. I'm pleased with her only being able to get 8 points, especially her being their leading scorer.
When you look at next week, you get this week off to kind of rest without having to worry about a Saturday game, and you get an LMU team that just beat Tusculum by double figures on the road. How do you handle this little time period where maybe you do try to rest, but you also have a huge week next week with LMU and Catawba?
Yeah, I was curious to see, because we had to go Wednesday to Wednesday for this game, how we would come out and play. Super impressed how we came out offensively on the road and scored well and put up 92. This weekend will be good for us with some of our nursing students and stuff like that, being able to take a break prior to getting into the last stretch run of 9 games. And it's a big one. LMU can beat anybody, and them going on the road and beating Tusculum is no surprise. I mean, anytime you win on the road is a big win, but they're a good team, and it'll be a tough challenge. It's a rivalry game on our home floor. They'll have the revenge factor in mind, I'm sure, and all that stuff. So anyway, we'll navigate it as best we can, get enough rest, and then try to get ready for LMU next Wednesday.